An Ode to a River. This is a tribute, no pun intended, to the uMngeni River, which has and continues to play a huge part in our lives on our cattle ranch in the foothills of the Drakensberg Mountains. The uMngeni River bubbles up from a small spring at the very foot of a kopje we call the drink kop, right at the very top boundary of our farm. At 6,000 feet above sea level, it begins its journey, winding like a silver ribbon through the entire length of our valley, then the Intlizaan Valley, tumbles over the Howick Falls, and ends up flowing out of Durban into the Indian Ocean off the South African coast. The river winds its way down our escarpment, tumbling over waterfalls and forming cascades until it leaves our lower boundary to continue its way past the Dargle. Everywhere the indigenous brown trout swim and spawn. The river is what gives our farm life. The water is so pristine and translucent, so pure that we drink its sweet savour and bath in the soft, moss-filtered water. We swim in all the crystal clear natural pools created by the river, and have done so since my father was 10 years old in 1925, and subsequently we 4 sisters were infants. Now our grandchildren do exactly the same, enjoying splashing around in the water, catching crabs, inedible but fun to catch and throw back, on a piece of string with a bacon rind attached, and generally relishing a refreshing swim. Their children, as the next generation, will enjoy exactly the same traditions, and so on, hopefully forever. One side of the uMngeni River is flanked by a dense, dark, mist-belt, natural, indigenous forest, from where we can watch as bushbuck bulls, their does, and Bambi-like fawns wander down along the ancient paths to have a drink from that pure water in the heat of the midday sun. Every conversation with one or another in our family begins with, "What's the river doing today?" We watch it carefully all year round. In winter, when it's reduced to a mere trickle before the rains come and the valley is almost silent, we miss its background murmur. In summer, when the rains have swollen it to a thunderous roar, we have to raise our voices in order to be heard. Sometimes it overflows our only bridge to the outside world, cutting us off completely for days on end. We guard the source of the uMngeni River ferociously. Nobody but us is allowed past a locked gate, which prevents anybody else from walking, riding, or driving up the escarpment. We have created a preserve. The whole sponge of the uMngeni catchment is a no-go area for anybody who doesn't have specific permission. We cannot allow our precious source and resource of the purest, most pristine, unpolluted water to be compromised in any way. Unfortunately, not everybody treats the uMngeni River with such respect. By the time it has reached the Howick Falls, it is already filthy, polluted, and effectively a dead river. No fish, no crabs, no otters, nothing survives in the disgusting, murky, toxic water. By the time it reaches Durban to flow out into the Indian Ocean, it is filled with effluent and mostly raw sewage. This is a disgrace to one of the most beautiful and precious resources of water, to which we were given to take care of and be the custodians of the uMngeni River. Shame on those who have allowed this to happen. Our rivers are like the veins in our bodies, carrying vital water to where it's most needed. We have to take care of all our precious rivers. The end.